So if I were to look at East Fork Dairy Creek and try and put it in context with restoration that could occur in the entire Tualatin Basin, I'm looking at this 1 mile reach as one of probably the top 4 opportunities to really have an impact on salmonid recovery for the Tualatin. So I've been working in the industry for about 40 years now. I'm extremely passionate for restoration because I've spent a long time learning some difficult lessons. Part of the basic assessment that I consider critical for all watersheds is to get a baseline of fish distribution. Let the fish tell the story. So to do that, we're actually snorkeling and counting each one of these different populations. We got a really good sense of where fish were currently using the basin when the conditions are most limiting, the months of late July and August. Those anchor habitats become really important because those are the places that will continue to perform and to produce salmonids in both good years and bad years. But all of those anchor habitats are not performing up to their highest capacity. And this is the place that we wanted to focus our restoration dollars. There are some key things that we have injected into this restoration plan that are critical for what's limiting salmonids in this reach. And I'd have to say probably the most important one is access to thermal refugia. And so a key component of this project was developing off-channel alcoves that are actually spring-fed. They will function both during the summertime for cold water refuge and as off-channel refuge in the wintertime during a flood event. If you have a compelling story for small landowners, they're all on board. We're working on a full suite of property owners that are adjacent in the highest priority section of East Fork Dairy Creek. We're being able to treat the system in a way that has the potential to really make a difference.
The first time I encountered the coho salmon in Plenty Water Creek was about 15 years ago. And there was a huge coho salmon right there in front of me, just like having Discovery Channel right there in my front yard. At first I was a bit apprehensive with a salmon enhancement like this because I thought, oh, they're going to come in and tear everything up. And then I started thinking more and more about it, and I thought, well, what's more important? I mean, the visual of my property for a temporary period or to take care of these salmon and give them a fighting chance? I think it's worthwhile. It's going to be a great addition to the property. It's just amazing to me that they go from here to Dairy Creek, through the Tualatin River, through the Willamette River, back through the Columbia, and then they make it back 4 or 5 years later.
The fact that they've persisted through all of those things for decades now gives me great hope that a recovery is possible. I think that we're in one of the most important places to be, and I think that we're going to see a response from what we've done.
We're standing here at a large wood placement project that we partnered with the NRCS and some other landowners to execute. This particular site was really a worst case scenario, a long, straight, scoured section of stream all the way down to bedrock with almost no complexity, no place for rest or spawning. And this wood placement structure here is already performing just as intended, collecting gravels, collecting logs and sticks here. A little eddy has created a pool for just the kind of habitat the salmon are looking for. So this was a multi-landowner project, we were lucky enough, and it was really quite rewarding for us to be able to contribute all the logs to this project. This family forest landowner, timber folks will recognize that there's some very high value logs here in this project that reflects just how rewarding it was for us as a landowner to be able to make this kind of a difference in habitat. You know, it was worth the trade-off for us to donate some really nice wood to this project and to really make a difference, I guess, in the habitat conditions here. It's been great to see this structure perform just as described. In just one winter, we're already collecting gravels and adding complexity to the stream, just as intended.